The views and opinions expressed by the guest author or speaker during this live session are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Reader's Magnet. The content shared is for informational purposes only and does not constitute endorsement or promotion of any particular belief, ideology, or product.
Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers. Welcome to RM Hype, and you're tuning in to Reader's Magnet's featured author interview. I'm your host, Revan, and today we have a very special guest. So he is a man of so many feats, and some of them are the following. So he served as president of the citywide evangelistic task force of Greater Chattanooga for 8 years. He's a board member of the Domestic Violence Coalition for Greater Chattanooga and Southeast Tennessee Association for Child Care. He's a faculty teacher for the National Baptist Congress of Christian Education, a senior pastor of Life Point, a transformational church. And he will be visiting us, Reader's Magnet, at the coming book fair in Chicago this September. And he is also getting married by the end of June. So everyone, let's welcome the author of this new book called Conflicts Within, A Journey Through Real and Lasting Change. Let's all welcome Elton Young. Hello, Elton. How are you?
Hello, Rev. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm excited to be here and be a part.
Yes, and congratulations for you for getting married this June.
Oh, yes.
So, are you excited for that?
I am excited. Yes, indeed.
Yes. So, well, by the way, since you're the featured author here and your book is called Conflicts Within, can you tell us what the book is about?
Well, the book is about dealing with internal and external conflicts. And in dealing with that, I wanted to really make a very clear point on how you go about doing that from one of two perspectives. Conflicts that we deal with, some can be resolved, not all, and then others can be managed. A lot of times people fail to understand that, and they try to resolve a conflict that's unresolvable. And then they try to manage something that they should be resolving. So I really, really wanted to focus in on dealing with the conflicts you deal with internally in your heart and mind, and then the conflicts that you deal with externally with other people, situations, circumstances, things of that nature. So that's pretty much the heart of the book. I wanted to write it in a way that it didn't just seem like some reader's manual or some training guide, but to write it in a way to where I dealt with some of my own personal experiences and talked about how I was able to work through some of those conflicts myself and share those things with others.
So, as a reader, I can actually learn from other people's experiences. So this is actually quite a good book for me to resolve my conflicts as well. And because, as what you said, some conflicts can never be solved. So, yeah. So, what or who inspired you to write this book?
Well, I was inspired, Rev, to write this book by my deceased wife. My wife and I were together for 22 years, and the Lord called her home. She died from cancer, and I struggled and had a hard time with that. I would say I grieved for a good 2 years plus, and really, really just kind of dealt with things internally that I did not even realize was there until after her death. And so, once I got through the grieving part and started feeling, a little bit better about life and things in general, the Lord laid upon my heart, okay, well, what are you going to do with what you've been through? So, so I sat down and gathered a lot of training material that I've done over the 20 plus years. I've done a lot of trainings in conflict resolution, conflict management,
Mm-hmm.
grief, loss, and separation, and other topics as well. So I just went through a lot of material that I had already written, and
Mm-hmm.
started putting it together, and then attached to that some of my own personal experiences, and there you have Conflicts Within.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, by the way, first of all, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the loss of your former wife. So,
Thank
I
you for
know
your condolence.
the book is about the conflicts within. So, I believe it's very difficult to write this book for you. So, what was
Yeah.
the hardest scene to write and why?
The hardest, I would have to say, the last chapter of the book
Mm-hmm.
was definitely the hardest, because in that last chapter, I kind of exposed myself to some personal experiences I went through following my wife's death,
Mm-hmm.
and being able, or needing to be able to process that and get through that myself required me having to forgive
Mm-hmm.
certain people for certain situations, and
Mm-hmm.
that was very difficult, but it was very rewarding as well. um my daughters, all six of my daughters, have read my book,
Mm-hmm.
and when they read that chapter, they even talked to me about some healing that they experienced, because it brought back
Mm-hmm.
some memories of what we went through as a
Mm-hmm.
family, and how we had to get to the other side. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes getting to the other side demands that you have a forgiving heart, when
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you don't want to forgive, so to speak. So we all have been through that in one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I like about your experience in writing this book is that you're actually in the process. So I agree with you. Grieving is a process, and
Hmm.
just like what your book, the 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 message of your book, that some of the conflicts cannot be resolved. So grieving is a process, and you're actually in the process of grieving while you are writing the book, which actually gave you the like some kind of freedom by
Hmm.
putting
Yeah.
everything, all of the emotion, your love, your sadness in it, which actually helped other people seeing the light of the day. So for example, your daughters have actually seen you as a person in that book. So because
Right.
they can read your thoughts, they see you, and they are with you, which also gave them um like a sense of um freedom, or like on this like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, the heavy weight just lifted up. So something like
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
so
And
true. So true.
yes, so I God bless you for that. I actually want to have a copy of this book. I've just read some of the few pages. I have not I've not completed reading this book yet. So by the way, what do you think your readers will take away after reading your book?
I would have to say, Rev, the biggest thing would probably be, and this is what I've heard a lot from
Mm-hmm.
people that have read the book, um, is really being able to let go of certain things that has hindered and held them back,
Mm-hmm.
and not realizing that those things that they were holding on to, and some of that was, could be bitterness, unforgiveness, anger, you name it, list of
Mm-hmm.
things. But I've repeatedly heard from different people that's read the book that it really challenged them and confronted them at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, and helped them to be able to move past some things, and
Mm-hmm.
to seek some resolution in other areas
Mm-hmm.
of their lives, to be able to resolve things. And if they can't resolve it, like I say in the book, hey, if it's not resolvable, that doesn't mean that you can't manage it. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we need to learn that concept of how to manage things that cannot truly be fixed. So that's what I hear a
Yes.
lot of from the book. Yeah.
Yes. So I also agree with that, by the way. And by the way, this is your debut book as a novelist, correct? So
Yeah,
Conflict
that's
Within, this is
exactly,
your first book. Okay.
it
So
is.
for
It's kind
all
of
yes. So for all our viewers out there, the book Conflicts Within is available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and his website, which is lifepointtransforms.org. So you can check Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and his website, lifepointtransforms.org. And it's your first book. Congratulations for that, Pastor
thank you
Elton.
so much.
And how do you feel having it as having your book actually published? Because I believe you were a writer before, a commentary writer, correct?
Yes. That's the weird part. I have been writing, man, for years, for a while.
Uh-huh.
And I was a Sunday school commentary writer for
Mm-hmm.
the Sunday School Publishing Board of the National Baptist Convention, which is a
Mm-hmm.
large national organization. I wrote in the adult commentary division, and I also
Mm-hmm.
wrote in the youth commentary division as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've done, as I mentioned earlier, I've done trainings as it relates to conflict resolution, conflict
Mm-hmm.
management, grief, loss, and separation, different subject matters of that nature. And doing those trainings involve putting together some type of training manual.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it individually, and I've done it in partnership with some other people that have
Mm-hmm.
helped me put together some training material as well. So it's just odd that this is my first actual book
Yeah.
that I published myself with my name on it
Yes.
and not someone else's.
Yes. Yes, and it
Yeah.
actually feels so good, correct? Seeing your
Yeah.
name on the bookshelf. Okay. So when did you first call yourself a writer with all of these achievements, your book and all of these published articles? So when
Yeah,
did you first call yourself a writer?
I would have to say that, I've been in ministry for
Mm-hmm.
over 30 years now. I've pastored, this is the fourth church I've pastored over
Mm-hmm.
my career. And so I would have to say that I've always felt like a writer,
Mm-hmm.
because I've always had to write sermons. I've had
Mm-hmm.
to write lectures and things of that nature
Yeah.
throughout my pastoral career. So I would say that the writing aspect probably came along
Mm-hmm.
as I started going into ministry and started developing a writing style and a speaking style and things of that nature. And from there,
Mm.
it brought me to where I am today.
I love that journey. So from
Yeah.
there, writing sermons to being a published author, really good journey
Oh,
for
yeah.
you. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Quite a journey.
uh-huh. So what differentiates your book from other books in the same genre or category?
I would have to say a big difference with my book from other books would be that I really, really labored in the
Mm-hmm.
area of making sure that it was reader friendly to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not just that, but in the piece of it being reader friendly, I wanted to make sure that I kept a balance
Mm-hmm.
between the spiritual and the emotional and the
Mm-hmm.
psychological. So my book is scattered throughout the book. You will find and you will read references from a biblical perspective
Mm-hmm.
that contributes towards what I'm writing, and then you will also read actual events that I
Mm-hmm.
experienced in my own life that
Mm-hmm.
really had nothing to do with being biblical or anything, but giving a practical sense to that as well. So I really tried to keep the spiritual and the practical
Mhm.
kind of side by side, and I think I was able to accomplish that from what I have heard from the people that have read the book. They
Mhm.
they really appreciate that because they don't necessarily feel like that I'm just being preachy as we call it
Mhm.
sometimes, but really bringing forth good words from the Word of God, but also some good practical skills that you can
Mhm.
practice yourself that can help. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. So, Elton, I'm going to give you this time to promote your book. You can show your book to us, and
Yeah.
then where we can find it, and where we can buy your book, and your other projects as well,
Yes,
if you have other
indeed.
projects.
This is my first book written with my name on it, Conflicts Within. The subtitle is A Journey Through Real and Lasting Change. You can get the book on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. All you got to do is just go to Amazon.com, type in Conflicts Within, or type in my name, Elton L. Young, and it will pop right on up. So please do that, and please read it and give me a review to let me
Uh-huh.
know what your thoughts are about
Mhm.
about the book. I would love to hear about that. I am so sorry, something is going on. No,
Oh.
okay. Something was
Okay.
going on with my computer. It decided it wanted to start doing something else. But at any rate, at any rate, please, if you would, Conflicts Within, A Journey Through Real and Lasting Change. It is available Amazon.com. It is available Barnes and Noble, and you can get it, and I believe you will be blessed by reading it.
Okay, so it has been a good time with you, Elton. So thank you so much for joining us here today. So,
Yeah,
guys, Elton Young, everybody. So get your copy of Conflicts Within available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and also check out his website. That's www.lifepointtransforms.org. So you can
yes, please
check
do.
out his ministry, his church, and also you can also find the book there. So, and once again, thank you for spending time with us here on Reader's Magnet, Elton. So,
Thank you so much for
guys,
having me.
yes, so guys, let's open the pages and unravel the secrets of your personal odyssey. And I believe that your ink never runs dry. So go tell your story, you storyteller. This is your host, Revan. And as we say it here in Reader's Magnet, we share your story with the world. Bye now. Stay awesome.